So today we're going to be talking about fair trade. So what is it? Maybe what are the products? Where is it starting to happen? What is the trend? And so some of the words we may be looking at are considered business English. So if you are interested in that side of English, this is a good class for you. This is also a beginner slash intermediate class. So it's not too advanced. So if you want to join, you don't have to be extremely fluent, so don't worry. We're going to be discussing a few questions. We're going to be taking a look at vocabulary. Then we have a short article with our vocabulary words being used. We'll go over comprehension. We'll work again on vocabulary, and then we'll also look at idioms with fair, so the word fair, and what other words we can use, and what phrases we use in English that don't necessarily translate into your own language. Okay, and then we have some more discussion questions. So what you have to do is just download the class material, and when you do, you'll find that we have this worksheet. Okay, and this is what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so we're first going to start with a discussion. So what does fair trade mean? What fair trade products have you seen in stores? And do you check where a product is made before you buy it? Okay, so you're really going to have time to express your opinions. And then we're going to work on vocabulary, and then we can read and work with this vocab. Okay, so once again, intermediate and beginner levels are definitely welcome. Even advanced levels, if you want to work with some idioms and some new vocabulary, feel free to join. Okay. So welcome, Kachapan. Welcome to class. Okay. And so what we'll do when you guys join class is... Hello.
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 Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So where are you from?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with a few introductions so we can get to know our class. And we'll just wait for a few more people to join. Okay. So once again, if some of you are afraid that this class is too difficult, don't be. Still join. It'll be okay. You can follow along. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. Okay? So we have some new people in class. Would anyone like to introduce themselves to us? So just small introductions. So your name and where you're from. So Raul came in. Okay. All right. So did anyone have any problems finding the class resource? No? Okay. All right. So I'll explain how to find it just in case you all are new to Verbling, and then we can start class. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to the Verbling webpage, so 1 second. Okay. So if we go to verbling.com and we go to classes, okay? We have to go to my class. Okay, and when we do, you see class description. We're going to be talking about fair trade and what that is, and you need to open up the class material. Okay, and now I can post the link for you all. All right. So if anyone's a little lost, they can follow the document with us. All right. So if we take a look at our worksheet, okay, I want to start with the warm-up questions. Okay, so if we take a look at question 1, does anyone know in class what does fair trade mean? So what is fair trade? Any ideas?
I think this is like fair. You can buy, come to this fair to make advertising to the product.
Okay, can you repeat just because your connection, I couldn't hear you that well.
Yes, I think the fair trade is like the fair. The fair is this continuum of company coming to this fair to make advertising to the product of this company.
Okay, yeah, so it does have something to do with the advertising. So what does it mean when your product is fair trade? What are the qualities of a fair trade product? So when you see it advertised as, you know, this t-shirt is fair trade, what about the t-shirt or the pair of pants you were buying? Any ideas?
Can you repeat? Again?
Yeah. So for example, we have a fair trade product, and it's a pair of pants. Okay, it's a pair of jeans or a pair of pants. What are the qualities of fair trade for this product? What does it mean that these pair of pants are being advertised as fair trade?
I think the quality is like the advantage of this product, or describe this what is the quality of this product to the customer.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't understand you. It's not you, it's your connection. It's there's too much breakup of your voice. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. I wish I could hear you better. All right, so I'll help us all out. So a fair trade product means that the people who work and make the product are paid fair wages. So the people making the products are paid fair wages. So they're paid good wages. They're given more money, all right? And it also means that the products, so the materials that are needed are either maybe sometimes organic, so they're not harmful to the environment, but also that they're not illegal. So we're not buying products that are being illegally grown or illegally taken. Okay, so the materials are legal as well. Okay, so this is a question. You may have seen advertising for fair trade products. Have you seen any in stores? Can you give examples of fair trade products or companies? People that tell us that their products are produced in this way. So do you know any examples? Okay, so what we'll do instead is we'll go on to the vocabulary. Okay, so if we go to the worksheet, let's just take a look at the vocab. Okay. All right. So when we're taking a look at a consumer, what letter does this correspond with? What is the answer? So I need you guys to participate a little bit so we can go through class.
And actually, I have a question. Meaning the exactly of fair trade. I don't understand the exactly.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What is the meaning of the fair trade exactly?
Yeah, so fair trade.
Yes.
I wrote it in chat. Okay. So fair trade, where is that? Okay. So fair trade, it means the people making the products are paid good wages. The materials used for the products are not harmful to the environment, and the materials are legal. So, okay. So it means that these are good products to buy. They not only provide people with jobs that give them a good amount of money, but it means we're not ruining the environment. Is that a little clearer?
Yes.
Okay, great. And are you in class? I don't think I see you.
Who?
Who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Chala from Turkey.
Okay. Okay, great. All right, so it doesn't look like the sound button is working. All right, just keeping a track on what works and sometimes what doesn't work. All right, so any other questions about what we've gone over so far? Okay, and so what I want us to do is to take a look at this vocabulary. Okay, so when we say companies and stores have consumers, what is a consumer?
When you want to buy something, you are be the consumer. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so you're really quiet. If you can just speak up a little bit or use a microphone. So yeah, a consumer is someone who is buying a product. So what letter would that be? What letter? We use the word someone who wants to buy a product. Sorry, what'd you say?
What is your question? I don't understand. Sorry.
So if we take a look at the vocabulary, which letter? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So which letter is the definition?
D?
Yeah, D. Good. So it's a... Right. And I see, Roger, you're participating via chat. So I'd love it if you wanted to join class. That would be great. You're definitely welcome to. What about conscience? What is a conscience?
What is the meaning of conscience?
So that's what I want you to find. So I can use it in a sentence. Okay. So,
a sense of what is right and what wrong.
Yes. So letter G. So can you use that in a sentence, Igor? I don't know.
Nowadays, companies should be conscious. Should have conscience. How to say correct?
Yeah. So nowadays, companies should have a conscience.
Yes.
So they should be aware of what is right and wrong. Ashish. No, I don't. Okay. All right. So what is responsible? If you are very responsible with your money or with your things.
It's I to make sure that rules are followed.
Yeah. So I. Right, 3. And Ashish, I haven't heard you. I don't see you in class. Okay. And what about mass produced? So certain things like televisions, cars, they're all mass produced in factories.
Made in very large quantities.
Quantities, yeah.
Yeah, good. Is that letter J? Yes, J. Okay. And don't worry, if you don't understand these words now, we have a short article, and you'll see that some of the words are in here, so you can see how they are used in a sentence. Okay. And what's a wage? When we say
the lowest of money you can pay a worker.
Yes. So when we talk about wages, it's a low amount of money for work. And when we talk about salary,
it's the same salary, yeah?
So a salary is a little bit better. It's how much money you make in a year, usually. How much money you make in a year. Versus a wage, which is an hourly rate, and it's usually very low. It's the minimum. So what's an artifact?
An object that is handmade. No. Yes.
And so wage, sorry about that. A wage, we have minimum wage, so number 9 is A, and a wage is a low amount of money, but what is its definition?
Earnings for work completed.
Yeah, it's still a low amount of money, that's my fault, okay? So number 5 is letter E. So a wage is an hourly rate, and it is a low amount of money, but there is a difference between that and minimum wage, which is number A, letter A. And minimum wage is the lowest amount you can pay someone per hour. Okay. And so, sorry about that, guys. Number 6, artifact.
C.
What did it say? Okay.
An object that can't be.
An object that is handmade. And what does handmade mean?
Made by hand.
Okay, can we try and describe it without the word? So we say handmade, made by hand.
Something that you produce it at home without a machine, or
Exactly, produced without a machine. Great job. What's a critic?
A sense of what is right and wrong.
So that is a conscience.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
A person who expresses negativity.
Yeah. So when a new film is released, there's always a critic, who tells us if the film is good or if the film is horrible.
Usually he critic movie, so he said something is wrong with that movie.
Yeah, a critic critiques movies.
Yes,
so
critiques.
Good. Yeah, and that was expresses negativity, F. All right, so 7 is F. All right, what about 8? Corrupt. If a company is corrupt.
B. Trust both people.
Can you write it in chat?
To be dishonest for personal gain.
Yeah, so 8 is H. All right, and then what did I say 9 was? What was number 9?
I just said A.
Yes. So, and does anyone know in the United States What is the minimum amount of money we can pay someone?
In different states, different. $7 minimum, $8 maybe.
Yeah, and so we have some confusing things, but what does the federal government say we can pay people? Any ideas? It's a little bit lower than that.
6?
Yeah, it's about $6. The last time I worked a minimum wage job, it was $5.75. So it's between $5.75 and maybe $6 now. But states can have, you know, different minimum wages. And if you make that amount of money, you can work 24 hours a day and still not make enough money to survive in the US. You'll be poverty level.
But no one works for this amount of money. All works from $8 per hour minimum. The lowest. If you sell ice cream, for example, $8 per hour.
Yeah, so it depends on the state, but yeah, very few people nowadays make that amount of money. You're right.
Only I heard that only in California, who come from Mexico, who wash the dishes, for example, or in construction works, they have this amount for money.
Yeah,
$6.
Yeah, there's so if you are farming, so if you're coming into the country to pick fruits and vegetables or tobacco, you won't make as much money, especially if you're an illegal immigrant. But if you're a legal immigrant and you have the right to work, you make more money. So yeah. What about 10, enforce? If we enforce a law,
we broke.
What?
I don't find definition.
Which one is the rest?
Sorry, can you say it again?
Which one is the rest? Is B or?
Yeah. I think 3, responsible, fits better with B.
Okay.
Trustworthy, and enforce is make sure the rules are followed. So we'll just change that definition. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you guys are doing great, and then I'm like, wait, no, that one, it's close, but it's not exactly it. So yeah, responsible is B. So we trust you to do the right thing, okay? And then 10, enforce. So enforcing a law, we're making sure that rule is being followed. And that was I. All right, so I hope that's a little clear, sorry. And we'll see how these words are used, okay? So we're going to take a look at this fair trade article. I have to minimize a little bit. Okay, and so we're just going to read it and go over what they're telling us about fair trade products. Do I have a volunteer to read? So just to work on your pronunciation and reading.
Okay, can
Who is that? Sorry.
Atya, please.
okay.
Okay.
Can you,
All right. So we'll go with Ata and then
Chala.
Chala.
You can say
Thank
Chak,
you.
no problem.
And then me.
Okay, and then Igor. All right. So first paragraph, Atya.
Ateya.
Ateya. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Are you a customer with a conscience? Your
Consumer.
conscience. Are you a consumer with a conscience? Your conscience tells you when something is right or wrong. Something reminds you not to pay something expensive that you don't need. Your conscience may also tell you to pay a little more for something that is made in a responsible way. Fair trade is a system that tries to give a producer in a developing country the money they deserve. Popular fair trade items include coffee, tea, and sugar. Do you look at the labels when you buy this item?
All right. So good job. So what are some popular fair trade items?
Coffee,
Coffee,
tea,
tea, and there's
chocolate.
one more. And chocolate. All right. And so where can we find on the package if the item is fair trade or not? They use a word. It begins with an yeah. And so the label is the writing on the package. All right. All right. And all right, so they ask us a question. So do you look at labels when you buy these items? Has anyone ever looked at the label?
No.
Yes, I look. How to say every time?
You look every time. And what do you look for?
When I buy some products that I first time buy, for example, every time I look where it's made, what about products, about qualities, and I do not find nothing about fair trade because here we do not have such products with this label. I didn't. It's correct to say I didn't see or how to say.
I have not seen.
I have not seen labels, products with labels.
Okay.
All years that I buy something, I haven't seen.
I'm kind of in between the two of you. I always look at the label, but I rarely check to see if it's fair trade. I check to see where it's made, and I usually check the health. So I check the label for how much fat, sugar, carbs, and I check the weight. Is it the best deal for the price? So
you divide how much cost on weight. Yes.
Exactly.
So you see per kilogram, for example, if it's for you expensive or reasonable. How to say this word? Reasonable.
Reasonable. Yeah. So I'm looking for the most reasonable price per weight. Usually. What about anyone else? Do you read the labels? What do you look for?
Really, to me, just I don't read the labels. Just I saw the price first. If I looking for a price, not to the brand of this and to the label of this product. If I find the price is good, I buy this product without see the label or the brand.
Yeah, so buying the brand that you are familiar with, that's a good point as well. Buying the brand or name you're familiar with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I find the brand. If I find the good brand with a good price, I buy it. If I find this brand is expensive, no, I don't buy it. Just the price is the first. The price is the first thing for me for buying any product.
Yeah. So for us, it sounds like price is very important. So is anyone willing to pay more money for products that are fair trade, for products that are organic? Is there anyone in class that spends more money on these better quality products for humanity and for the environment? Anyone out there?
I would spend money on these products, but to know 100% sure that that money that I pay in addition, yes, it's correct to say?
Yep.
In addition to that price, goes to farmers, to that people who produce that product, but not to some intermediaries. Yes, intermediaries.
Intermediates.
Intermediates. Resellers, retailers, wholesalers, and all kind of these people. So if I would know that 100% goes to people who produce this product, I would pay. But for example, I do not know if I would see coffee or chocolate, and there would be written that it's fair trade product. So I'm not sure that I pay, for example, more with $1 or 50 cents. It goes to that farmers who produce.
So not sure where that money goes.
Yes,
and
I'm not sure.
That's an excellent point. So people, I have friends who only buy organic products because they're convinced it's better for the environment. And it is, but there's companies can lie. So there are some ways you can get around being completely organic. So organic, you're not supposed to use pesticides. A lot of times organic products have to be closer to the grocery stores and the markets. So they're coming from your region, which is great. But sometimes what ends up happening is pesticides are still used, just not as much. So there's certain things that you're not sure if you're buying the product you think you are, which is you have concerns, and that's definitely understandable. All right, and so Chuck, would you like to read the second paragraph for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Products that are made far away are sometimes the least expensive. How can that be? It's simple. Mass products goods are often made by people who receive extremely low wages. The working environment in developed countries may be unsafe and unfair. Production may even involve child labor. This is what the fair trade movement tries to fix.
Okay. So why are products that come from faraway places cheaper? What is the reason that these products are cheaper when they come from Thailand and Taiwan and China, Mexico, countries that are not very close to your own country?
Because they are made by poor people, and children are involved in this production. So they pay that people that produce these products a very small amount of money. It's correct to say very small amount of money?
Yeah, exactly. So in
or
these
do not pay nothing. They are sclavs.
They pay them, but it's very small amounts. So these products are mass produced. So when we have mass production, can anyone describe what mass production may look like or may consist of? What does a factory that mass produces cars, how do they do it? Does anyone
Automatic.
know? Yeah, so it's a lot of machines. And what kind of system, Igor?
Like overproduction. Overproduction, like this company, overproduction about this product. So this company wants to distribution this product to many places by this sensor, because you can't find overproduction, and how you can this company store and inventory this product. So
okay.
this.
Oop, where'd you go? Nope, continue. Yeah, I was agreeing.
Yes. So this company wants to have overproduction with more stores. So this company maybe export or import this product as a low expensive, because you want to release this overproduction.
So there's there's a sort of overproduction. And in mass production, has anyone worked in a factory or knows someone that works in a factory? Okay. So
I know how it works.
can you explain it to anyone? When you work in a factory that mass produces Coca-Cola or cars or bread, are they doing various jobs or what are they doing?
No, it's like a machine conveyor, yes? Or exists such word in English? Conveyor.
Yes, conveyor belt.
Yes, something like conveyor. And people who work, they are many people, so they do the same job, routine. They only or select or put something or labels, how to say, the tickets with labels on the bottle, for example.
They put the labels on.
Yes,
Yeah.
they put the labels, they close the boxes, they put the stamps, for example, cigarettes or bottles of wine, they put the axis marks, do you know?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Axis marks, in English, how it's named?
They put the I thought you were just saying they put the labels on.
Yes,
they
labels, but labels for customs, when you go to customs.
I don't know, but custom labels for customs works.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how we would
Tax
say it.
stamps, I translated on Google. Tax stamps.
Okay, yeah, that works. Tax stamps. Yeah, so like Igor said, these people, they're paid a small amount of money, and they're going to be in a large factory, a lot of people, terrible working conditions, and they do the same thing every day. So I had a friend, and she worked for Pepsi for a summer, and all she did, she put the cap on. That's all she did. 9 hours a day. She put the cap on the bottle, and then the bottle went to a machine and it pressed the cap on. So
I think this is the meaning of mass production, like divided the work according of labor.
yeah,
Like
it is.
just one doing all of work. You can divide it to release in the time.
It
I
is.
think.
It's the division of labor within a factory for a certain product. That's excellent. Within a factory for a certain product.
Because I think if this factory release in the time, maybe the price become released. I think.
Yeah, and that's why the price is so cheap. Yeah. And so they receive low wages, unsafe environments, and who else can work in the factories that probably shouldn't be there?
Children.
Yeah, children. So we have child labor, and this should be illegal, but it sometimes is not enforced, to use our vocabulary. Okay, and they tell us that this is what the fair trade movement tries to fix. So by increasing the prices of products, we're going to avoid all of these problems. Okay, and so Igor, can you read the third paragraph for us?
In some countries, women are not able to earn money. The fair trade system helps women earn money by selling handmade goods such as clothing, bags, and other artifacts. As a consumer, you can support a single talented seamstress and her children instead of a box store.
Okay, good. So in some countries, women are not able to earn money. So how can we support them? How can we give them money? What can we do as a consumer, as someone who buys products?
Fair trade system helps.
So the fair trade system helps. So instead of going to a box store, and we'll work on this word, can anyone tell us what a box store is at all? We don't use this term much in American English, maybe a little bit more British.
This is a term used to describe large home improvement material vendors. No?
Kind of. So it's a large store.
A retail store that
yeah.
sells a limited assortment of basic grocery items.
A large retail store, a chain. So, for example, Walmart. I did a class on Walmart the other day. If you've ever heard of that company, is one of these stores, you know. Okay, that is
Big
a box
store from United States.
Exactly.
Chain store.
All right. And so, what do these women produce? What do they make?
Handmade goods.
Handmade.
Can we get some examples? So,
Bags,
what
clothing, artifacts.
Yeah. So these women sew clothing, bags, and they may make other pieces of art or clothing. And so instead of buying something at Walmart, at a big store, a box store, you can buy a handmade product.
Sorry, what is the difference between clothing and clothes?
There's not.
Okay.
But clothing, such as clothing, bags, and other artifacts, clothing is more proper, I would say. So it sounds better. It sounds more formal. And clothes kind of refers to, I'm wearing clothes today, so it refers to your personal items, whereas clothing refers to it in a larger sense.
Okay.
Like there's more of it. Okay. All right. But you can use them interchangeably. It will be okay.
So, sorry, can you explain what is seamstress?
Yeah. So a seamstress is a woman who sews. So she usually makes clothing or we can say clothes, blankets, like a quilt.
She made she makes artifacts.
So yeah, that was one of the words they gave us, and we don't really say artifact in American English. That's very British. But there's artifact is referring to just pieces of clothing and arts and crafts. So if you've ever gone to a smaller village in a poorer country, so a lot of people will make handmade like small tins, and they'll make shirts and purses, and they'll sell them for money. And they're great quality, and the money goes directly to them. They bought the fabric, they bought the containers, and they decorated them at their home. So that's what they're telling us in this paragraph. But specifically for women, because in some countries women cannot work legally. Does that help, Doi?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, in American English, we would never say artifact. For me, an artifact is something that is old. So an artifact, yeah, it's an ancient object. So that's definitely different.
So artifact is used in England.
For this sense, yes. So I'm not sure about the two senses in British English, but this is the way they use it in this paragraph is not American. It's British. So for me, an artifact is Indiana Jones found the lost golden cup of the Incas. He found an artifact from the Incas, not a piece of clothing from today. All right. Does anyone want to read the fourth paragraph for us?
Support.
Okay, good. You can go, Ataya.
Okay. Paying a little more for fair trade goods is a way for consumer to reduce poverty around the world. However, not everyone can afford to do that. Some people live by check to paycheck. They can only afford the lowest price at the local chain store.
Good. All right. So what is poverty? What is poverty?
This is the poor people. Refer to the poor people at any area.
When you do not have amount of money for life.
And you don't have money, don't have much money.
Yeah, so poverty means no money. Yeah, so it refers to the quality of life that poor people have. All right, and then they give us an idiom here. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. Do you guys have any idea what that means, to live
from
paycheck?
Salary to salary.
Yeah, so each week you get paid, you receive a check or a wire transfer of money from your job. And so some people spend all of their money from 1 week, and then they have to last with no money until their next paycheck. So living paycheck to paycheck, you constantly spend all of your money and you do not save. Okay. Good. Okay, and anyone want to read the last paragraph? All right, so what about...
Tui.
Yeah, you haven't read yet. Would you like to read the last paragraph for us? Okay. Chuck, would you like to read again?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
How reliable is fair trade labeling? Can you be sure that a farmer's family will benefit if you pay extra for your coffee? Critics of fair trade doubt this. They believe it's the companies that benefits from the higher prices. Some fair trade co-ops are corrupt. Corruption includes false labeling or not paying farmers the required minimum wage. It's difficult for the fair trade labeling organization to enforce fair trade practices in farms around the world. Should consumers do their own research?
Good. So this is what Igor talked about before, that he wasn't sure if the money he spent on his products were going to, the farmers and to the workers, or just to the large companies. So we can say Igor is a little bit of a critic, Sorry,
no,
Igor.
I am
not
critic.
too much.
I
it's
am,
not a bad thing. Don't worry.
Obviously, how to say, I see reality. What can be?
It's not a bad thing. You doubt. I do as well. I'm a little bit of a critic of this. I doubt that the fair trade process is as honest as it should be. Okay, so it may be a little corrupt.
Critics are based on something in this context they wrote. So they based what they said on something. So they something found out. Yes, it's correct to say found out? Something found out about these fair trade companies. They something saw. So that's why they say that they something investigate maybe and investigated and seen that the money, not all money goes to farmers, poor farmers, but goes, for example, 50% to some dubious people. Dubious, it's correct to say?
No.
No? Okay.
Dubious is like, well, it means doubting. So dubious people, doubting people. It doesn't work in that sense, but it can work with what you're talking about. Yes, someone else wanted to say.
Yes, Teacher, I want to ask you how you can consumer discover any false labeling. I think
So
it's hard.
yeah, go ahead.
Because it depends on the awareness of the people at any country. Maybe if the country, the people read more and they can discover any false, okay, but if any poverty people, how you can to the poverty people discover this false label, or any corruption? I ask about
yeah, it's very difficult for the consumer, so it's difficult for us, but I think the media, so the newspapers and the news shows help a lot to find out what is happening. So as a consumer, though, you have to read and keep up with what is happening in the world.
Okay, how about the poverty area, like the country in the Africa or any poverty area? How you can discover this? I think you should. This is depend on the minister about the government. Check any product before this product come to this country.
Yeah, so the government should have a little bit more responsibility in seeing where the products are coming from and how they are being made. It's a good point. And it is difficult for us to know. And so what I want us to do in the last 5 minutes is take a look at the idioms. And it's kind of in a yellow section, idioms with fair. And so I want you to read them, and if you have any questions. So we have fair and square. We have a fair shake. Fair is fair. A fair weather friend. Your fair share. All right. So look at the definitions and ask me if you have any questions.
I have a question.
These are,
Do you use often these idioms in your day-by-day or, I don't know, business-related conversations?
Yeah, so the ones I hear the most are fair and square, fair's fair, and your fair share. I hear these at least every day in America.
I don't know why, but in movies, I watched a lot of movies, American, but I never heard who playing that movies to speak with idioms.
You never heard these in movies?
No, only this, but all kind of idioms. So
they're there. You might just not notice them.
I overlooked. Yes.
Yeah, you overlooked them. It's a definite possibility. It's hard to understand them when people are speaking because they don't translate back into your own language. They sometimes make no sense at all. It's kind of like the idea of it's raining cats and dogs. We say that in English to mean it's raining a lot, but if you translate that into your own languages, you don't say that. It makes no sense.
I watched movies in English with English subtitles. I do not say that movies translated in another languages. I watched English movies only with subtitles and with voice, English voice. So I do not hear some, because when I learned English, I watched movies and some words I didn't understand. I stopped movie and I translated in dictionary to look what is the meaning. So I never seen the idioms in conversation in American movies.
Well, you see them. I mean, like translating them in your head. So when I watch foreign movies, like French movies, and I have them with French subtitles, I try to translate a few things in my head, and they don't make sense. Because it doesn't work sometimes with those idioms. So some of these, if you go and try to translate them right now on Google Translate, they might not work in your own language, which is what I was trying to get to. So does anyone have any questions about what they
Yes.
mean?
What is the meaning of fair shake? Fair shake.
Of what?
A fair shake.
A fair shake.
Yes.
A fair treatment. So the manager gave the teen a fair shake at the job, but the teen didn't try hard enough. It's treating someone with equality. So giving them the same opportunities and the same chances as other people. Okay. So you all have a fair shake for verbling classes, to take a verbling class. So you all have the same opportunity to take verbling classes. And then you also had, there's a question about fair and square.
No. I just wrote this. I can say what is it? Just and honest. Yes?
Yeah. So we won that game, fair and square. We won. You'll hear we won, fair and square. And that means we didn't cheat. Okay. We won fair and square, as in we didn't cheat. Okay. Any other questions before I let you guys go?
What is fair?
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so they tell us it's fair because of something that happened in the recent past. Okay, and the example is, hey, he went over the, oh crap. Okay, that's an idiom. Okay, so fair is fair means those are the rules. Those are the rules, and they're fair. So everyone has the same rules. Everyone has the same rules.
Free
You
from
have
bias.
to follow them. Yeah. Good. So we can make that shorter and use free from bias, which is good.
Equal opportunities, equal rules.
It's a little bit different. It's, we'll say it like, if someone's like, I hate baseball, I always lose, you can say, fair is fair. You lost because you suck at playing baseball, not because there's something wrong with the game. You're just awful at the sport. Okay,
What
so
is the meaning of suck?
to be awful at. It's very slang, colloquial, and so we say that sucks, it sucks, you suck. And it just means awful.
If I will tell in my language to someone you suck or something, it will be very rude to say.
It is kind of rude.
In another language.
Yeah. It's okay with friends, but to be like, oh, like you suck. Okay? But to tell someone that you don't know, very rude. Okay.